Realize, real eyes, real lies. Yo, funny meme. Anyway, let's talk about liars and lies. Right? Most people lie. Everyone lies. I lie, you lie. Now, how much we lie, that depends. But let's just be aware that everyone lies. So you can't go about your life trusting people fully, completely. Okay, you can trust people in a certain regard, but you can't just go ahead and assume every word that comes out of their mouth is pure truth, because it never is. Right? Nothing is as good as it seems, and nothing is as bad as it seems. Right? You can have your father as an idol, but see, maybe he's lied to you about how much he makes to just keep you humble. Right? Maybe your father makes 10 times the money he told you. Right? Maybe he makes like lesser money than he told you, but he told you that just to make you feel a bit more secure financially. Everyone lies, and it's sometimes is for good reason, but sometimes it's also for bad reason. And in most cases, even if lies are told for good reason, they end up in a bad way. Right? The consequences of a lie that is supposed to be inherently good, the consequences can always result in a bad light. Consequences for a shitty lie can result in a good light. Right? Maybe a 40-year-old man cheats on his wife, but then he lies and tells her that he didn't, and then they live happily ever after. Now, the wife, she doesn't find out about it ever, and she thinks her husband is loyal as hell. She lives a good, happy life, not knowing she was betrayed. Now, is that a better option than what she would have had if he just told her the truth and both of them went on with their lives? We don't know, because it didn't happen. But the thing is, lies can result in good or bad, and lies can be good or bad, but one doesn't correlate with the other, respectively. Right? Good lies won't bring about good consequences always, and bad lies won't always bring about bad consequences. It's uncertain. And that's why you shouldn't really trust much. Right? I'm not saying have massive trust issues that even if your girl tells you that you're eating rice, you don't trust her when the rice is right in front of you. See, that's just unreasonable paranoia. And being paranoid does help you to an extent, but after a certain point, it goes crazy. So don't be way too paranoid. Right? Just know that you've lied, so they can too. Right? People can lie, and people do lie, and people will lie. Now, I'm not saying a person can't always tell you the full truth. If you get in a relationship, the main thing a relationship is built on is trust. So it is your obligation to never lie to your partner. Right? If you do that, you are a good person in that relationship. Outside the relationship, you might have lied 1,000 times to your boss. You weren't a good employee. That one doesn't always have to affect the other. Right? One doesn't have to be with the other, correlate, or even have a cause for the other. Right? You can be phenomenal in an area of your life, right? You can be the best boyfriend ever, you can be the best employee ever, and you can be dog shit in other areas. You can be a shitty, abusive father, you can be an ungrateful daughter, an ungrateful son. Exactly. So, lies don't really tell you much about a person in a specific area of life, because if you lie somewhere else, you do have the chance of lying in another place, but maybe you don't, right? Because you feel morally obligated to not tell lies in a relationship more than you would feel like morally obligated to not do so during your work hours. But the truth is, everyone lies. You cannot take everything at face value. Do not be trustworthy of anything to the fullest extent. All right, take their word for what it is, and their word only has value if you give it value. Because in reality, words don't mean shit, right? Only actions do. Someone can tell you they love you like there's no tomorrow. Someone can tell you that they love you more than anything else. Someone can tell you you're their everything, and still take a shit in your face, get up, not even wash it, and just leave. Crusty. Oh, I, yup. Anyways, just be careful, bro, because we don't want to fall into a trap and get ourselves hurt because we trusted someone too much. Right? Always remember, paranoia doesn't always necessarily have to be above your trust, but it sure does help when the person doesn't seem trustworthy. Right? When you get a few red flags, just be aware. And sometimes you won't get the red flags from a person necessarily at the start. Maybe you'll ignore them, because that's what we do mostly. But just remember, don't be afraid to trust. Just know that it can be broken, but it shouldn't break you. Alright? Good night.